years of watching Tennessee football, which honestly has only been like 5, this is the most excited I've been to win a bowl game. Tennessee wins the Tax Slayer Bowl against the best Indiana team since the 60s. This is supposedly the best Indiana team since the 60s. Tennessee comes in and beats Indiana in the Tax Slayer Bowl. Wow, I honestly, I have no words for this because let me just go ahead and explain here. I thought the game was over. Multiple times, the Vols tried to piss this one away. They really did. But nope, can't piss this one away. Somehow, some way, the gods of football just came down and just worshipped your boy Squidtard. So I stayed and I watched the whole game. I'm glad I did. I had faith. Just even when we were down 22-9 with 5 minutes in the game, I had faith. I kept my hopes alive, and we somehow came all the way back and beat Indiana. I still can't believe it. So with that out of the way, let me go ahead and just start off. Let me go ahead and start off on the highs of this game. First of all, the biggest high is Garantano's a senior. Woo! Yeah, we don't have to worry about that anymore. Harrison Bailey coming to Tennessee. By the way, I'll get on that later on. You'll see. But Garantano, this is basically his last game. It couldn't have been a better finish for him, honestly. To be able to come back into this game after almost basically pissing it away. I'm going to be honest. Garantano looked like the worst quarterback in the Power 5 that I've ever seen in the first half. Second half, it comes out. Maurer comes out and looks exactly like the worst quarterback in the Power 5. But then Garantano comes in, same thing happens, but somehow, some way, we come back into this game. Everyone else, though, looked incredible. Offensive line was doing really, really good. I talked about that in the halftime game. Basically, they looked as if they looked as they did in the first half. Basically, the same thing. Eric Gray and Ty Chandler, both really good running backs. Eric Gray, that dude has a future. I'm really excited to see what he's going to do for the rest of his career at Tennessee. Honestly, Brian Maurer too. Both of those guys, both of those freshmen, they are really, really, really good freshmen, and I'm excited to see what they do. And most of these guys are freshmen, but let me go ahead and say thank you. I want to give a special thank you to all the seniors. If I were to list them all, it would take me a while, but mainly, of course, Jawan Jennings and most of those big playmakers at Tennessee who have done so much for this team and even stuck around here even after everybody thought that the season was over. And, of course, Jennings was here since his starting career in, 2016? That tough finish. He, of course, made it through the Lyle years. He comes out with Jeremy Pruitt. And then, of course, that loss to Georgia State and BYU. And somehow, somewhat... Can you believe that Tennessee started off 1-4 after their first 5 games? I mean, lose to Georgia State and BYU. Then you get blown out by Florida and Georgia by a combined score of 73-14 or something ridiculous like that. But then you come back out, and now at the end of the season, you win 8 games. Unbelievable finish for the Vols. I mean, I could make all the jokes I want to about how bad the Vols have looked, but the truth is, Tennessee has played actually really, really good, and honestly, they're one of the better SEC teams right now. Speaking of which, the SEC moves up to 7-2 in bowl games, I believe. So anybody who wants to talk about how the SEC isn't the best conference, you might as well unsubscribe and leave this channel now, because you're going to hear a lot about me saying the SEC is the best conference, because let's be real here, they are. Is there anything else I need to address? I'll address this, though. My predictions were right, weren't they? I had Tennessee going 7-5, and yeah, I said 8 wins was a possibility for Tennessee. Most people thought I was crazy. Look at me now, son. Look at me now. Now, of course, I was sitting here after the Georgia State and BYU loss, saying, of course, blah, blah, blah. And that Georgia State loss, a lot of people are going to be talking about that for the next few years. And eventually, when we start blowing out Florida and Georgia and Florida fans are going to be talking about that Georgia State loss just to see if they can try and troll some Tennessee fans. But the truth is, nobody's going to get pissed off about you talking about Georgia State or BYU. Not because, first of all, the thing about BYU is we're playing them again, not this year, but the next year after. And we already know what's going to happen there. We're going to win by 40. As for Georgia State, a loss like that was basically symbolic because a loss like that basically turned our season around and really showed a comeback in this Tennessee team. And, this comeback of the season, it's not just the fact that Tennessee's season was spared, but the fact that this resembles a comeback in the Tennessee football program. That's the biggest thing I can get from this. Jeremy Pruitt is bringing back the Tennessee football program to its prime. All right? Listen, I told you it was going to be a steady climb upwards. It wasn't going to be like he was going to come and win 10 games. And I was here. Let's see. I was here since 2017. So I've been through the bad on this channel. And you guys saw me. I mean, you can go back and watch my post-game videos that I made back in 2018 when Tennessee didn't make it to a bowl game. I was pretty sad, but I had hopes for a moment to cherish like this. But here we are. Finally, Tennessee makes it to a bowl game, wins it in a pretty incredible fashion. Just a remarkable season for the Vols, honestly. And this really does turn this Tennessee program upwards. So, with all that being said, what are my predictions for next year? What's the first game we have on our schedule? A nobody win. Oh, wait a minute. Do we have Oklahoma on our schedule? Ooh, man, Oklahoma. I could say a lot about Oklahoma right now, but I'll leave that towards the offseason. Because you know, Tennessee is going to whoop Oklahoma next year. We are going to dominate Oklahoma. In fact, let me go ahead and say this. Third in the East or better next year. I mean, we got third in the East this year. Everybody's like, Tennessee is going to go like fifth or worse in the SEC East. Nope, we're third. You know what? No, not third. I take it back. I'm going to sit down for this one. We're going to finish second in the SEC next year. We are going to finish second in the SEC next year. Did I forget about Florida or Georgia? No, of course not. Let me tell you something. We're beating one of them next year. We are. All right? We're beating either Florida at home or Georgia in Athens. We'll do either one. We are going to win one of those games. All right? My money's on Georgia. And I already know what everybody's going to say. Oh, that's not happening against Athens. South Carolina beat you in Athens. All right, buddy? So, but enough of the trash talk, though. I'm just happy to win this game. And hey, guess what? The people that are here right now that aren't Tennessee fans should be happy too. Because we're not leaving. In fact, none of the Tennessee fans are leaving. In fact, we're going to stick around for a while. We're going to be around here for a while, buddy. So you guys stick around. And you'll see why exactly we stuck around in the offseason for next year. So I got a lot of discussing to do. about 2020. As for this season, Tennessee's season in 2020, there's going to be a lot of podcasts about it. I'll have some schedule or game updates. And of course, when the 2020 season rolls around, we are going to put a halting finish to either Florida, Georgia, Alabama, or Oklahoma's season. You know it. Tennessee is winning 9 games or more next year. You know what's happening. I'll see y'all later, and power to Tard area. Beep-be-dee! Also, go Vols!